Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland BROWNS FANS. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been paying attention to the NFL landscape lately, you know that things are really heating up in the AFC North. And the Browns, oh, they are right in the middle of the storm. Recently, there's been a lot of chatter about one of their most veteran players, Joel Bitonio, a guy who has been the backbone of Cleveland's offensive line for over a decade. And I can tell you, his situation is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing storylines as we approach the trade deadline in November. But let's take a step back and understand the bigger picture here, because it's not just about one player. It's about the entire direction the Browns are heading this season. Joel Bitonio, for those who might not be fully aware, has been a staple in Cleveland's lineup since he was drafted back in 2014. Over the years, he's earned a reputation as one of the best guards in the league, consistently demonstrating elite-level play. He's made the Pro Bowl in each of the past 7 seasons and has been recognized on the All-Pro team 5 times between 2018 and 2022. That's no small feat, especially considering how competitive the NFL is. When you watch him on the field, it's clear that his technique, intelligence, and leadership set the tone for the entire offensive line. And just last week, in the season opener against the Cincinnati Bengals, Bitonio showed that he still got it, anchoring that line with that same level of excellence that's made him a Browns legend. However, despite such a stellar individual performance, the Browns aren't necessarily looking like a playoff team right now. They have a tough schedule ahead, and across the league, the AFC is stacked with talent. Teams like Kansas City, Buffalo, Cincinnati, and Jacksonville are all competing fiercely, making the playoff picture even more complex. Cleveland's current roster is heavily invested in youth, with a bunch of promising rookies making their NFL debuts last Sunday, like linebacker Carson Schwessinger, defensive tackle Mason Graham, running backs Dylan Sampson and Quinshon Judkins, and tight end Harold Fannin Jr. All of these rookies made a significant impact in their very first game, well, except for Judkins, who didn't see action yet. It's clear that the Browns are building for the future, trying to establish a core of young talent that can grow together over the coming seasons. But here's where things get even more interesting. Cleveland also has 2 rookie quarterbacks on their roster in Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. One of these young guns might end up being the franchise quarterback long-term, which is an exciting development for Browns fans. The team's management has been quite strategic about their draft assets, owning their own first-round pick and also having the Jaguars' pick, which gives them options to target a high-caliber quarterback in the 2026 draft. That's a long-term plan, but it also hints at a possible shift in the team's core, especially if they decide to go all in on developing a young signal caller rather than sticking with veteran leadership at the position. Now, this is where the potential trade of Joel Bitonio comes into focus. You see, at 34 years old, Bitonio's age might not fit perfectly into Cleveland's rebuilding timeline. While he's still playing at an elite level, the Browns are clearly prioritizing youth and future assets. So, could we see him being moved before the trade deadline? The answer is very much on the table. And if you're a Browns fan, you might be thinking, well, who would want a veteran guard at this stage? Well, the answer could be a team like the Detroit Lions, who have been contenders the past couple of seasons but have taken a bit of a step back this year. The Lions have been hit hard on their offensive line. They lost center Frank Ragnow to retirement this summer, and guard Kevin Zeitler also left in free agency for Tennessee. Last year, Detroit was the NFC's top seed, a team that looked poised to make a deep playoff run, but this season, they're facing some gaps on their interior line. They still have Aiden Hutchinson, of course, and a solid defense, but their offensive line needs reinforcements if they want to get back to that elite level. And that's where Joel Bitonio could come into play. He's a proven leader, and if Detroit is serious about solidifying their line, acquiring a player of Bitonio's caliber could be a game changer. Now, the question is, What would Cleveland want in return? The Browns are in a bit of a tricky spot because they're rebuilding, but they also want to stay competitive this season. So, a trade involving Bitonio might not fetch a first-round pick, not at his age, not with his current contract, but a package that includes a future draft pick, maybe a fourth-rounder, plus a young player like rookie wide receiver Dominic Lovett, could be enough to entice Cleveland. Lovett is a young, promising receiver, and while he showed limited action in Week 1, the Browns might see potential in him for the future. Still, Cleveland's priority right now is to bolster their roster with players that can contribute immediately, especially on the defensive and skill positions. But if they're looking ahead, and they are, trading Bitonio for the right price could help accelerate their rebuild. And here's an interesting point. Even if Cleveland isn't actively shopping Bitonio, his value continues to rise if he keeps playing at a high level. Detroit's offensive line struggles, especially on the interior, could make Bitonio a very attractive option for them. The more he performs, the more trade value he accumulates. Plus, with Cleveland still having playoff hopes this year, holding onto Bitonio makes sense. A strong showing in the coming weeks could increase his trade value even more, giving the Browns leverage if they decide to move him later in the season. But if the team falters, if the losses pile up or the season doesn't go according to plan, then trading Bitonio becomes a very realistic option to recoup some draft capital for the future. It's also worth emphasizing that Cleveland's strategy seems to be a mix of competing now while preparing for a long-term rebuild. They've got some promising young players, and they're testing them early in the season. The rookies like Schlesinger, Graham, Sampson, Judkins, and Fannin are all showing that the future could be bright. But at the same time, veterans like Bitonio provide that stability and leadership that the team desperately needs when facing tough opponents. That balance is what makes this team so intriguing right now. Will they push for a playoff spot this year, or are they already thinking ahead to 2025 and beyond? The truth is, it could be both. And that's what makes the story of Joel Bitonio so compelling. Now, if we look at the bigger picture, Cleveland's current roster construction suggests they're trying to build a foundation that combines youthful talent with experienced leadership. The team has some key pieces on defense, some promising skill position players, and a quarterback situation that's still very much in flux. The coaching staff and front office are clearly betting on development and patience, but they're also aware that in the NFL, timing is everything. If they can get a valuable trade return for Bitonio, it could help accelerate their rebuild, especially if they target high-upside draft picks or promising young players. And let's not forget the broader AFC landscape. The division is tough, no doubt about it. The Ravens, Bengals, and Steelers are all loaded with talent and hungry for success. Cleveland's best chance to make a real impact is to stay competitive and build momentum. But if they hit a rough patch, then shifting gears and trading veteran assets like Bitonio could be the smart move. It's all about timing, strategy, and knowing when to shift gears. The Browns are at a crossroads, and Joel Bitonio's future in Cleveland might be one of the most critical pieces of that puzzle. So as fans, what should you be watching? Keep an eye on the team's performance over the next few games. If Cleveland struggles and the season doesn't go as planned, don't be surprised if discussions about trading Bitonio heat up. Conversely, if they keep winning and show resilience, Cleveland might want to keep him around a little longer, especially since he's still playing at an elite level. The trade deadline is always an exciting time for NFL fans because it can bring surprises, and for Cleveland fans, it's especially intriguing because it could shape the team's future in ways we can't fully predict yet. In the end, Joel Bitonio is more than just a veteran player. He's a symbol of Cleveland's recent success and their ongoing quest for stability and excellence. Whether he remains a Brown for the long haul or moves on to help another team chase their Super Bowl dreams, his story this season is one that every Browns fan should follow closely. It's a story about loyalty, legacy, and the relentless pursuit of greatness in the NFL. And as we head into this crucial phase of the season, all eyes will be on Cleveland, on Bitonio, and on what the future holds for this resilient franchise. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And finally, I want to hear from all of you, Browns fans. What's your take on this potential trade scenario? Do you think Joel Bitonio should stay or go? Would you be happy with a package involving a fourth-round pick and a young receiver like Dominic Lovett? Or do you think Cleveland should hold on to him and ride out the season, hoping to make a deep playoff run? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion truly matters to us and to the future of this team. Remember, I'll be back soon with even more updates, insights, and analysis on everything Cleveland Browns. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep supporting our team through thick and thin. Until next time, Browns fans, keep the faith and let's see what this season has in store.